What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. In my last video that I just made, I suggested that I thought that Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland ought to actually enter early access. Now that the cat is out of the bag, aka somebody was able to leak some of the videos, and those videos are still out there about the alpha, it makes no sense for the developers to continue to keep the game in some secretive measure, especially when the pre-alphas that have gone on, apparently, according to some who have reported it, are being used to collect data as to what players think and how the developers probably need to make adjustments to the game. Because if they opened it up, they're going to get all that data much more freely. They're going to get a diverse set of reactions and a diverse set of options that they can pretty much pull from, and it will give the project that light that people are probably wanting to see the game in. And as I was talking about this, not long after, it appeared that another company went ahead and took this same step and actually lifted partially their NDA that was placed on their alpha test in order for more people to actually be able to speak about the game. Now, the circumstances are different. I'm not saying that they're both the same, but I think the measure is more than likely going to achieve a similar result at the end of the day. So this is about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is a live service looter shooter that's coming out. It is in the Batman universe. It has a very strange reception, and they did a preview for some games journalists to go in, some YouTubers to go in, and when most of the game journalists came out of it, they didn't necessarily like that preview event. Some chalked it up to technical issues and whatnot. But what we realized was immediately after that and the negative reception that the game started to receive, it seems Rocksteady went ahead and said, we got positive feedback from the players. So they released a portion of the NDA and said, you can't show images or video, but you can talk about what it is that you experienced. So here it is. They said back in November, we held a closed alpha test for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, where players agreed to a non-disclosure agreement and got a chance to check out an early section of the game. Now that there is more news out on the game and players are asking, we're no longer enforcing a portion of the NDA and we're allowing players to talk about their experience from the closed alpha test. We've heard the community requests and want to give players an opportunity to discuss what it's like to explore Metropolis as Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark. To the amazing players who tested the game, please feel free to talk and write about your gameplay experience. Keep in mind that all other forms of the NDA still apply, and players may not post imagery or videos from the closed alpha test. So this was a bold move in the face of all of the criticism, in the face of everything that was starting to basically come out. It seemed like because of the feedback they had gotten from their alpha, they were confident enough to be able to say, you know what, go ahead and talk about it. No posting videos, no posting images. I think if Red Storm or Ubisoft, whomever is able to make this decision, even went this direction, you would start to see the Division 2 Heartland in a different light, like it's a real project. Right now, I'm kind of in a position where I suspect that there are people who think the Division Heartland is more than likely going to be, in limbo for a very long time, judging by, how we've seen the Division 2 go into, restructure mode and then them working on the Division 3 sometime down the road. What is and where is the Division Heartland going to fit into all of this? The Division Resurgence has become more of a real, reality than, the Division Heartland is, even though the Division Heartland was one of the very first projects that we learned about. So if that is something that the developers can do, I think it will really, make a difference. Also, I mentioned the fact of early access. Now, it is a free-to-play game, and so it is different from the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League scenario because it being free-to-play definitely opens up the door. So going early access doesn't really hurt anything in terms of sales or whatnot. Instead, it puts the game out there, and the game is getting assessed by players. Unless they haven't necessarily developed enough content to actually have the game go in early access, then this will probably be the biggest deterrent and where I would say, okay, maybe they don't necessarily have to do this. But if they're in a position where they can actually put this game out at early access and they have enough in terms of the gameplay loop, I strongly believe they need to make the move and start bringing more players into the ecosystem, or at the very least, allow for players who actually experience the alpha or different alpha tests to be able to speak about it. Or why not just do an open beta? This way, a lot more people can actually get to see what it is that they have in play. And then now we have a, in my opinion, what I think is a community response, and people can know where this game's place fits in the Division universe. These are my thoughts on the matter so far. Right now, they seem to be even evolving more and more, because I never believed that Rocksteady was going to basically open up, the can of worms for everybody to be able to speak about it. But I think this is probably the position for Division Heartland to take. I mean, think about it. They're not marketing this game towards games journalists. They're not going to do this, or maybe they will, which I think will be a waste. This interesting thing of, the game journalists are playing it. Ooh, shiny. They just need to get the game out and, put the thing out for players to be able to make up their minds. I think it will serve them better. But let me get out of your hair. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.